5 things you should definitely never order from a coffee shop. So a little backstory. I have been, my main like high school and college minimum wage job situation was I worked at coffee shops. I think I worked at 3 different coffee shops in my tenure, but probably I probably worked for maybe, I don't know, between 3 and 5 years. I'm not sure exactly how long it was. But interestingly enough, like I didn't really drink coffee the entire time that I was working at those shops, which is so stupid now because I drink it every day. And I missed out on so much time.
But you know all the fancy drinks and stuff.
I do. I mean, I just have that knowledge forever. But one of the shops I worked at, apparently, the customers would always be like, oh, only come here because you guys have the best coffee. And at that point, I was in high school, and I was like, I don't care.
Coffee's gross.
So gross. Anyway, there was one coffee drink I liked, but maybe I'll talk about it. Depends on if we have time. Okay, this story is 5 things you should definitely never order from a coffee shop. Now, Tamara's worked in the service industry. Maybe she'll have something to talk about.
I just really like coffee, honestly.
She's a coffee expert. She's a connoisseur.
Yes.
Okay, so these are some things that like people order because they think that they're getting, like people really identify with their coffee order and they think like, oh, I've got my, you know, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Like double chai latte, 2 pumps of vanilla, extra foam, like whatever it is.
The thing is I think at Starbucks they don't judge you, but when you go to like more niche coffee shops, they will judge you if you order something like wrong. Like I know earlier today, I went into the coffee shop across the road and I was like, can I just have a chai latte with skim milk? And he was like, you mean a skim chai latte, medium? He didn't even say latte, but he like mixed it all up. And then I was like, well, I should have probably just said that initially, but I guess I didn't. So I hate myself now.
I wouldn't have done that because that's stupid. That's not even, like he just rearranged the orders of the sentence.
Yes, and took out latte. He just said chai because apparently the latte was unnecessary, but I didn't think so. Okay, right. But to avoid these problems,
so
we're going to go back to this.
Don't say these things because these are things that people think are things and they're not things.
Yes.
Okay, so the first one is an extra hot Americano, okay? So an Americano is just like espresso and water, right? Now, here is what's interesting about an Americano. When people order it extra hot, you're basically not getting anything different. The bottom line is there's no point. There's one fixed temperature at which water boils. So an Americano is boiling hot water, right? To increase the temperature from boiling even more doesn't do anything to help your beverage. The textbook Americano is just espresso and boiling water mixed together.
My question though, do they boil it in the steamer? Because sometimes they don't steam milk as aggressively as I would like them to.
It's not milk, it's just water.
Yeah, but so do they steam?
Oh, no.
How do they warm up the water to make sure? So
at the shop I worked at, we had a hot water tap. And so
it was just like straight up.
Yeah, and it was ridiculously hot.
Okay.
Like if someone ordered an extra hot Americano from us, we would just give them the same Americano we give everyone else.
Sounds
because
good.
The water's already really hot.
That solves all
because
my
that's the water that you use to brew the coffee. It also feeds directly into the espresso machine. So to have like a good coffee shop, like you need to have that running at all times. Okay. So here's the second one: bone dry cappuccino. For those who don't know the difference between a latte and a cappuccino, a latte is espresso on the bottom, milk filled up to about the half, maybe a little more. It kind of depends on the store and the preference. Some people will go up to even 2/3 of the cup, and then foam on the top. A cappuccino is espresso, a little bit of milk, and the rest foam. Okay?
So it's a lot of foam versus a little foam.
Exactly, and a lot of milk versus less milk. Okay, so a bone dry cappuccino is basically espresso with added foam with the steamed milk left out. Okay, so according to baristas, one, and this is true, it's a pain in the ass, but it's not even really a beverage.
Yeah.
So there's not really any way for you to drink a bone dry cappuccino, right? So basically you just have a cup of espresso and a bunch of foam. And one thing baristas will tell you is making foam is a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
It's actually like, you get good at it over time, but to make the foam, you have to boil water, ultimately, or milk. Ultimately, you're wasting milk because when you make the foam, there's only so much that actually turns into foam and you end up with a bunch of hot milk that you won't even use. It's just a crappy drink.
Yeah, that sounds actually horrible. I didn't even realize the fact that they have to foam the milk to get the foam. I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah.
So then you're just throwing away milk on top of everything
so like
else.
usually, I mean, like when you get pretty good at it, like you'll fill up like it'll be like a jug and like, you know, okay, let's say it's this tall. You'll fill it up with 1/4 of milk. And then you can get the foam to go all the way up to the top, but you're still left with some milk at the bottom.
Yeah.
And like if someone's asking for a dry cappuccino, nothing happens. Anyway, moving on, we still have a few to talk about. Okay, this one's just stupid. A skimmed soy latte. Tamara, can you explain why a skimmed soy latte is not a thing?
No skim milk in soy milk. Skim
There's no
milk
skim soy.
and soy milk are not the same. If you want skim milk, then you say skim milk. If you want soy milk, then you say skim milk. You're not skim soy.
Yeah, exactly. So skim is the amount of fat in milk. Cows generally make a crap ton of fat in addition to their
On top
milk.
of this, though, that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is the fact that they're pouring out of a jug. They're not skimming milk in the back. Like, they're not taking the fat off of your milk.
Slicing
They're
it off the top.
literally getting the jug out that you buy at the grocery store. On to the next.
On to the next. Okay, here we go. This is an interesting one. And it's something that you wouldn't understand unless you've worked the frother before. A cappuccino with almond milk. Like we said, cappuccino is majority foam. The problem is, almond milk is much sweeter, and it is a good alternative to milk, but foaming almond milk is very, very difficult, almost
there's no
impossible.
fat.
And it basically gets thicker when it's steamed. It's not good. You're gonna have a bad time if you have a cappuccino with almond milk. Okay, and this last one is, I don't know, like this seems like a gripe of the person who wrote the article.
Yeah.
Don't ask for a secret menu. Many eating establishments have secret menus. A lot of fast food restaurants have it. But this person's saying if every coffee shop did have one, all the best drinks would be on the regular menu anyway. We're coming up on the break here, but I do want to say this. This point sucks. There was actually a beverage that another barista who'd been working at a place I worked at for a long time told me about that's not on the menu, and the thing that he told me about was amazing. Like if anyone asked for a secret menu item, we would have made this. It was a vanilla cubano, and basically what it was, we got to go to break, but you take the espresso, you tamp it in, and then instead of just putting it in the machine and running it, you sprinkle brown sugar all over the top of the espresso, then put that into the machine. It dumps into the little cups. You pour the little cups into your small espresso cup. Then you just do a little bit of cream and 1 pump of vanilla. And that little drink is the best thing
But
ever.
I feel like that would mess up
Secret
the machine.
menu. Yeah, it's terrible for the machine. All right, we're coming up on the break, folks. We'll be back.